Welcome to another week of live trading. This is for the month of April 2024. First trade of the week goes to MRNS. This gap down huge from drug trial results. Was looking to play it in either direction, but looked like it wanted to pop over the 5, so I got in some long. But it took out the high by a couple cents and flipped right back down, so ended up killing it under the 2 minute for a half-hour loss. Decided to flip it short under the 15 since it looked like it was going to break down instead. Wasn't sure if this was going to move at all because sometimes these mega gaps don't really end up going anywhere, but giving it another shot. Ended up following through some, but unfortunately I used a big stop with the 15-minute low high, and losing that half R trying to play it long, I was only able to come out of it up about an R on it. Then I saw the TMF going parabolic, so was looking for a bounce. I tried it long over the 2 minute, wasn't too excited about it, so tried it with only half size. Looked okay since the sell setup on the 1 and the 2 looked like it was failing until it didn't, so ended up killing it under the 5 minute. But looked like it was a shakeout because eventually it got to target and then some, but was okay with letting it go since that sell setup was triggering twice on me. Then I got caught up scalping the MRNS in both directions, won some, lost some, didn't make much progress. I also might be getting invaded by termites, which is pretty common where I live, so you know I had to call the Ghostbusters on their ass. So didn't do much for the rest of the afternoon. Definitely felt like I could have done much better with the MRNS, but ending the day up just under 2 Rs. Tuesday, first trade I went after was Eric. This gapped up on earnings. I got some over the green bar off the 1 and was looking to add to full size over the 2 minute bars high, but immediately failed and had to take the stop. Sucked, but at least I didn't get triggered in for the full size and only lost partially. Then I tried the JAG-X. This one gapped up on FDA approval news. So I did the breakout over the 1 minute, ended up killing it early on the breakout failure. Also didn't like how the spread opened up, so decided to move on from it. I saw this TEL basing. It's also a penny stock that's been weak. This one ended up following through on the breakdown, so trailed it once it got the drop on volume. Then I shorted some PAC-B. This one gapped down on weak guidance and was on an uptick. Tried the breakdown off the 5. Not a big move, but took it on the decent drop. Then I re-shorted it in the afternoon as it based into the 15. And ended up having to trail it because I did have to leave a bit early today for a special occasion. And it looks like it dropped another 10 cents after I left, which could have been multiple Rs, but still ended up with about 5 of them. So on Wednesday, I decided to continue to watch the PAC-B and shorted some at the open. Had to try on both platforms because I couldn't really get filled on it since it's still on an uptick from yesterday's move. It worked, but I messed up trying to flip it long, which didn't really work out, but was still able to squeeze out about 2 Rs on it. Then I tried this VFS, which gapped down on earnings, super extended, but tried a short off the base breakdown on the 5 for a quick scalp. Wasn't expecting much of a drop, wasn't getting filled much anyway. Ended up flipping first, but dropped a couple cents after, whoop-de-doo. Then I noticed the space broke a buck, so I tried a short under the 5, but popped harder than a high school boy on prom night and had no choice but to kill it immediately. Then in the afternoon, TEL, which was on the carryover list, couldn't get filled much, but still made a couple Benjamins right into the close here and called it a day. Thursday, I watched the ME. This one gapped up on news about going private. Was watching it for either direction, but tried it short under the 1 minute right at the open. Looked promising, but ended up flipping, so tried it long instead over the highs. Then it changed its mind again and looked like it was going to break down instead, so I flipped it short again. Got a decent drop, but because of the flips, I only came out of it with an R, and that was pretty much all I did for the morning. In the afternoon, I noticed that TEL from yesterday was selling off again on the 5, so got in it short on the breakdown. Ended up working, but on the trail, it had a nasty pop, so took some slippage on the way out. And it looks like it was a huge shakeout because it continued lower, so I hopped back on the short train and was able to squeeze out a little bit more on this drop into the close, and that was it. Friday, I went after Paramount. This gapped up on news about Sony being a potential buyer, but instead of waiting for the high of the day to get taken out, I got in some over the 2 minute 1, 2, 3. Ended up flipping and taking a loss on it. Then the space that broke a buck earlier this week looks like it's continuing to come way back down to earth. Tried a short on the breakdown off the 1. Amazing move, but unfortunately extremely difficult to get filled on, so didn't have much. Then I noticed the Paramount was setting up nice for that breakout again, over the proper entry this time, of course. I was keeping a close eye on it and wasn't really like how it was trading, so made the decision to let it go today. So instead, I went over to the China sector, which was weak today, and checked out the LI on the 123 off the 15. Literally triggered me in by a penny and decided to go the other way. The original plan was to trail it on the 15 once the bar closed, but killed it on the pullback off the 1 because I didn't like how it was reading off the level 2. Then Netflix, which was the popular one gapping today on earnings. I was watching this since the open, but it never gave a proper setup for me. But here is a 5-minute sell setup, which I decided to pass on because I noticed things weren't really following through for me this morning. And of course, this one does end up following through. But I guess it evens out because the Paramount on that second attempt would have failed, so good pass on this one. So down a bit for the morning session. In the afternoon, I tried scalping a bunch of penny stocks, like the Space again on the 15-minute sell setup. Also tried this Workhorse on the breakout, which really didn't go anywhere. Then the Can short, which also broke $1 recently, but this one was really difficult to get filled on as well. I did watch the ARM, which was going parabolic into the close, but decided to pass because there just wasn't much time left. It actually ended up popping nicely right away, but I just called it a week. So it looks like the market topped out this week. Whether it's temporary or long term, I think this should help pick things up for day trading. Since it's just been so slow, I may get some good days or weeks, but overall I feel like it's kind of nice to be getting a change in environment. We're also heading into the heart of earnings season, so I'm feeling very optimistic about what's to come. So hope you're doing well in your trading. That's it for this one. As always, I appreciate you for being here, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy.